Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Declining Offers here, and today I'm coming at y'all my first ever commentary on the channel. Now, a bit sauced, but nevertheless, today we're going to be talking about just getting the worst edibles ever from the plug, and in general, what to avoid. Now, let's preface this with a short but sweet story about working on my old job, alright? And at this job, I had this goated OG day one coworker called, let's call her Katrina, okay? Just like the hurricane, bro. Let's call her Katrina. Now, she was dating this guy who was this high school tier plug, let's put it. Imagine like the mobile game ads, where you get a level 30 like gangster, you get the level 100 mafia boss, some shit, bro. Alright, listen. Let's put this guy at like level 15. This guy's a level 15 Slim Jesus, alright? That's being a bit harsh, but the amount of times this man sold me boof, actually, that might be doing him generous, okay? Let me not get too ahead of myself. I have a bit too much empathy in a lot of places. I bought some edibles out this guy a couple times. They've been hit or miss type, but he's got this real one good hitter, okay? And that makes up for all the misses in my eyes, because these things even be hitting harder than like the dispensary edibles, right? And the dispensary edibles we get around here are capped at 100 milligrams per package, and that is just utter brutality, brother, because I am eating either half or that entire package, and that is about $20 to $30 just depleted. Actually, more than that after taxes. It's definitely about $30 per 100 milligram. Dude, I'm downing that whole pack, and my $30 is going bye-bye by the morning, dude. I'm not having any of that, and you can shove that straight up your ass. So with that being said, this dude's hitter edibles were 50 per piece, 50 mgs per piece, 500 milligrams per pack total, and I paid around 30 for those. And dude, I'll pay that right now. Call me crazy, I'll pay that right now, because the legal market we have for edibles in the state is just so utterly cooked. So on this fine day, Katrina's chatting to me about how her man, what do we gotta call this guy? Let's call him Josh, okay? Josh. Katrina's chatting to me about how her man Josh just got some new edibles in and how I should try them. And honestly, I'm down, because at this point, I'm still probably hitting this guy's boof carts he was selling me. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. We're gonna go down that rabbit hole another time. Do not fear. My lungs are probably cooked, at least a little bit from that. Who knows? We'll find out. But I'm like, bet, what kind of edibles we got? And she ends up telling me Gushers, okay? And I'm a straight sucker for Gushers, brother. Gushers are some of the best candy you can ever give me. Give me that red 40, give me that blue one, give me that green 12, whatever it is, dude, I don't know. Put it in my veins, because that shit is hitting, I can't lie. Sorry, Robert F. Kennedy, brother, but oh my god, them chemicals be hitting. So I'm like, lock it in, bro. I need some of them Gushers in my life, say less. And that is my first mistake. See, bro, that's the trap I fell for right there. We'll get more into that later once again. But, so yeah, she's like, alright, bet. So imagine a couple days go by, right? Sorry, the memory's a little cooked, memory's a little hazy. Okay, dude, listen, a couple years ago, we've graduated from this, okay? I'm on my high horse, and we're just doing better in general. Now, as I said, a couple days go by. Yes, you heard that right, and that is because, brother, do you think I'm sliding to get my edibles? Do you think the plug has a whip, and he's delivering? Hell no, dude, okay? I'm getting these things straight at my place of employment. I don't care if I have to wait. Okay, brother, I'm a patient customer, and I'd argue if you're not getting your goodies at your place of employment, you possibly mayhaps be doing something wrong. If you get me, you get me. If you don't, you never will. So as soon as these are in my hands, we get onto our second red flag here, and that is the packaging, because this is just some straight up Gushers branded packaging, brother. Yes, that's still the first point, but okay. Yeah, just ignore me, bro, I'm a dumbass. Like, Gushers is co-signing some edibles that my plug just handed me. For sure, dude. Gushers saw that. The plug actually asked Gushers themselves, the CEO. He was like, hey, dog, you mind if I run these? And he was like, dude, these are hitting, brother. These are hitting, gang. Send it. Full send. Keep all the profits, gang. It's all you. And he's like, bet. Yeah, brother, so I got my hands on some legit Gushers right here. And actually, before I was going to say, as I crack open this package, before I even crack open the package, we get onto our third red flag, and that is more of the packaging. That is the pixels I can see on the print of this package, dude, on this Mylar. So help you God, if you can see the pixels on your Mylar baggie, brother, now you just are not 100%, not 150, but 1,000,000% sure that you are at the mercy of whatever idiot bought that bag off AliExpress. God may help you, because who knows what soggy ball sweat oil they put in that pack, dude. Dear God. Anyway, so yes, I don't even care, bro. I just spent my hard-earned money on these. Listen, dude, it's some weed, it's some edibles. This ain't no Fent. We're indulging in this, dude. We get to see what this is all about. Packaging. We can't remember when we were taught back in elementary school not to judge a book by its cover. I ain't judging. Dude, who knows, bro? Maybe the plug put the most smacking fucking fire in here of all time that is gonna send me to Enceladus, dude. So let's find out. But alas, as we set our eyes on these edibles, we come to our fourth red flag. And wait, is it the fourth? I've honestly lost track already, dude. Jesus Christ. I think our fourth red flag, and that is that these things are covered in poop soup. Straight doo-doo from a butt, brother. These things are covered... Okay, not that harsh. But these things are coated in some oil, dude. And... my guy, if this is the reality of your edibles, put that shit back in the package and just send it to the reciprocal, dude. It's not worth it. Maybe it's worth it for you if you're that down bad, dude. Who knows? I don't know how down bad you are. You could be homeless. Maybe those are like the pickup of your month. I don't know, dude. If it is, more the power to you, brother. I'll give them to you for free every time. But listen, dude, these things belonged straight in the trash can, in the dumpster, and set on fire, dude. These things were covered in just Shrek nut, some poopy, goopy poopy. Of course, disty by the looks of it. 99% sure this was some disty they're just coated in, right? And the problem with this is they are all stuck to each other everywhere, dude. It is a melted amalgamation of nonsense in there, dude. It is... This is why I call it poop soup, because it's a big melted amalgamation of nonsense, dude. It's a flesh mound of crap in this Mylar baggie that I've just opened, and it is sticking to the walls, to the ceiling, to my fingers. It is... I realized my mistake pretty fast here. My expectations are about 3 out of 10 for these edibles here, and that's being generous. I think these things were supposed to be 10 a piece or something. I don't know why. Actually, why did I even buy these? I actually don't think I even knew the total milligram count before buying these. Maybe I did. I could be lying. Dude, I'm not sure. I think, honestly, I just bought these because he was like, they're fire, bro. And I was like, bet, dude. Let's give them a try. You could say I even deserve this one. So I'm picking this goop soup up, and it is sticking to my fingers like hell. We're just chewing this gusher, right? This is... Dude, tell me how they were melted to each other, stuck everywhere, but they're kind of hard. Tell me how they were melted, but somewhat hard, dude. This was the grossest gusher you've ever eaten in your life, because after you eat this gusher, even after the synthetic chemicals that never degrade, that taste so good, coat your mouth, you just get the straight disty grossness in your mouth after that. That's overpowering all of that, dude. So it is just it's not the worst experience ever, but it's a brutal one, dude, because inevitably I realize these things are not getting me cooked. I've probably popped, I'm saying popped like it's a Xan, I'm probably popped like fucking 2 of these things at first, 2, 3, and then I probably upped it to like 4 or 5. And then I honestly think I ended up eating the whole package on this one shift. Wait, no, yeah, I straight up did. I ate the whole package of these gushers on this one shift because, bro, there's no way. Because I was just like, dude, there's no way I just bought these and I'm not going to feel any of this. And that's exactly what happened. And I blame that on the plug probably putting these in his pocket on a hot-ass day, and them just getting melted into shit, dude. And listen, what happens when you apply heat to weed, dude? It's not that hard to figure out. Everything degrades, it breaks down, it converts. I don't know the exact science of that, but I imagine keeping these edibles in whatever hot environment they were in to get that melted was not good for their life, and especially with the distillate being being the very outer coating of these things, it was coming in contact with whatever the mylar was coming in contact with first. I can imagine this is just a recipe for disaster, right? I'm not a scientist here. Maybe scientists roast my ass in the comments for how stupid I sound right now, okay? Please, but listen. Something about these was not right, dude, and I'm guessing that was a huge part of it. Other than this maybe just being the worst quality distillate ever that some dude probably scraped out the bottom of his... Actually, moment of silence real quick. That's probably exactly what this was. No, wait, no, because even if this was poop soup from the bottom of a cart, it still would have gotten me high. No, maybe not though, because if it's just repeatedly heated up a whale, I don't know. Even though it was back then, my tolerance was still not crazy low, brother. So I'm not really sure here. It could have been the poop soup and a mix of my tolerance. Listen, if you probably never had any weed before ever, these things probably would have cooked you. That's probably who they were aimed for, like middle schoolers. That's probably who this level 15 Slim Jesus mafia boss is buying from, like the middle schooler bulk plug, probably 29, dropped out of college, and is still selling to the middle schoolers. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, dude. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Let's recap. And what have we learned today? Well, first off, today we have learned to never buy edibles that have copyrighted trademark branding. For example, of common brands that are not associated with any type of cannabis, okay? Like Gushers, Skittles, M&Ms, bro. Like, you name it, dude. Trolley, bro. Come on, bro. We are better than this. And even widely faked, like, California-type brands. The most hyped brand you know of, dude, is probably also the most faked brand. And you gotta really take that into account. You gotta be like, is this just some package someone bought off AliExpress that is riding off the hype of a brand? Is the price too good to be true? Like, does this level 15, level 20 Slim Jesus really have the clearance to be buying this heat, this pressure? After you ask yourself them realistic questions, you can move on to phase 2, which is observe your bag for any pixelation. Is the bag look high quality? Do you notice any, like, AI-looking logos, symbols, graphics? Like, is it some Candyland Monopoly packaging, bro? You know what I'm saying? Not that hard to figure it out. Furthermore, you can look up a lot of this packaging on AliExpress, various Chinese websites, and see if they are available. That is another good indication of how widespread the packaging is, of how easily accessible it is, and also how possible it may be that someone else just cops that packaging and is faking this edible. Now, what matters even more than the art in these bags is going to be, of course, what it says, the fine print. You're going to want to read that top to bottom. You're going to be looking for things like milligram count, how it was made, extraction method, and test results. Even though that matters more for smokables, it's still going to be stamped on a legit product rather than just a mylar someone bought online. And next up, I would even argue that looking for edibles with just covered in distillate poop soup. Listen, it's 2025. I am of the opinion that we should be referring to all distillate as poop soup, brother. Call that crazy if you will. Listen, okay, I'll indulge in a disty cart every once in a while. I'm not completely opposed, but for the most part, it's the bottom of the barrel, brother, and we should not be giving all our money all the time to some disty manufacturers for providing the bottom of the barrel, okay? It's there for when we're down bad, not for everyday use, okay? In my humble opinion. You can disagree. Feel free. Also, if you're not just a straight idiot like me buying blind, you can obviously like check all these things, check the package, see if it looks good. But on top of that, I would also recommend maybe feeling up the pack, pause, getting a good feel for it, like it's a mystery figures, seeing what's in there, seeing if they feel like separate or normal, and not like a tumor. But if everything looks good with the packaging, if they're feeling all good and you pull the trigger, the next thing that I would look for as you crack the package, minus the disty covered poop soup is I would see if they're covered in crystals, because this has been a trademark of other completely boof edibles that I have received. Another pair of edibles, yeah, it gets better. Another pair of edibles I've received from this dude have been the Skittles. You'd think I would have learned my lesson. Oh no, I've also bought the gummy sharks, the trolley gummy sharks from this guy, bro. Yes, I have fell for it. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me thrice, brother. I am a moron. Listen, but honestly, bro, the chocolates make up for all of it. Okay. Them things are in. Regardless, these edibles that are covered in sugar crystals of some sort. I'm guessing they're like some THCA sugar crystals, something like that. I'm not 100% sure, you know, potheads, scientists, unite. Let me know in the comments, please, if you know. But I'm fairly sure they're THCA crystals of some sort. They just sprinkle onto the candy. And, you know, time and time again, these edibles I've gotten, I've never seen legal edibles like this. I've seen, like, sugar-coated edibles, but not, like, ones that have these huge, granular sea salt, like, massive chunks on them, like I've gotten from the plug. These things are just awful. Time and time again, maybe it's because they're being stored improperly, maybe they're just old, maybe they're just, like, boof, low-quality packaging is wrong, who knows? Or maybe the crystalline is just a sign of poo-poo edibles. And I almost forgot. Oh boy, dude, if you're eating, smoking anything, this Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, THC, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alright, no, all of them but minus THCA, bro. If you're on any of those, THCP, THCV, THC, fucking Z, bro, throw that shit as far as the eye can see, okay? You feel me? Because, oh, bro, I'm Kanye, bro. Oh my fucking god! Alright, so before we recap real quick, I just want to go over one thing. I loosely used the term fake edible earlier, and I just wanted to define that real quick. What I mean by that is, like I was saying, brands that are not standing on their own two legs, right? Brands that are piggybacking off another brand's marketing, packaging, using their candy, repackaging their candy, etc., etc., etc. Also, oh my god, dude, stay away from these edibles on TikTok Shop and Amazon, dude. Oh my... Honestly, if I even have to tell you that, dude, if you're actually scratching your head about that one right now, it might be natural selection, brother. You... Yeah. If I gotta tell you that, bro, if you don't already know that, you're cooked. It's too far gone, bro. Just give up already. There's no saving you. You're just gonna do whatever you want, and good luck. Best of luck to you, friend. So now you hopefully see what I'm saying a bit more. You know, a fake edible isn't just a black market edible from the plug. I'd argue that the plug is going to have better edibles than the dispensary a lot of the time. You're going to get the best from the plug. You just got to know what to look for, because a lot of the edible market, I feel like, is made up of just lower quality items appealing to the average, more uneducated and underage consumer. Now, what does this leave us with? And I find the answer is real simple. This leaves us with edibles with packaging that is all original, not piggybacking off some other brand or hype, can stand on its own, has confidence in itself, clearly, has good quality packaging, has packaging you can't find elsewhere online, and has test results, has scannable test results, a link for test results, something along those lines, obviously, you know, a legit product. Some good terms that usually indicate some decent level of quality on my edibles. I see, also time back in my chocolates right here, is full spectrum, okay? Full spectrum edibles, living soil, like grown in living soil type of edibles, and as well as hash edibles, okay? Or rosin edibles. Listen, I don't know how you make edibles with rosin. I'm sure someone would love to explain that to me. But, you know, obviously those are going to hit harder than your typical edible. Hash edibles, I can personally vouch for. Those things get me...
Locked.
And another personal anecdote right here is chocolates, dude. Every time I have a edible chocolate, it just hits so much harder than the gummies, dude. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just, what I've had. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've had a crazy amount of edibles in my life. It's definitely been one of my least favorite methods of consumption, but I still want to touch on it here because I feel like it's, rarely brought up. And I almost forgot, bruh. Speaking of rarely brought up, you wanna know what's rarely brought up? How my aunt's edibles are, bro. If you got a family member that's a baker and a stoner, dude, you're all set, bro. You're on the money. You ain't gotta worry about shit, brother, because you got it locked in, dude. Oh my god, the most fire edibles I've ever... Fuck the chocolates, bro. My aunt cooks up some fucking pressure, bro. Flood them streets. You're gonna have the fiends lining up. So I hope this video helped you out a bit, or maybe it was at least a little entertaining. That's what I'm here for, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, bro, my first ever commentary. A lot more where this is going to come from. Okay, we have a lot of videos planned coming up. A lot of different variety content, too. It's always going to be gaming. It's always going to be horror FPS based for the most part. But yeah, expect stories, expect some funny moments, expect some BS, and just expect, bro... Expect whatever the fuck I want to upload. How about that, bitch? Suck my balls. Lock it in, bro. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, bro. Just have a fucking awesome day. Thank you. Mwah. Peace.